I think probably so. It's probably more important offensively. Defensively too, because you can't take any chances. You don't want to do something silly. You want to be more sound, I think, on both ends of the court. You got to have poise that you got to keep working at it to get a shot, but you got to have enough poise and toughness to keep defending, because they do what they do. And in the preseason and with me and my buddies and coach and everything, I picked them as the number one team in our league, and I really think that they're really, really good. People say slow it down. I just think they just wait until they get the shot they want. They don't stand out there and milk the clock for 20 seconds and then start playing. If you give them a good shot early, they'll take it early. I've never asked Tony if he likes being called a guy that slows it down, but that's not what I see. I see that they run their stuff until they get the shot you want. We've played against teams that just messed around for 10 or 15 seconds and then would try to get in their offense. I don't really see Virginia doing that. I see them playing, and if you screw it up and give them a good shot in the first 5 seconds, they take it. I think he's been more aggressive. I don't know that he's running the floor any better than he has all year long, because I think he's probably been better at that than anybody else we have, and I still want him to be a heck of a lot better at it. But I think he's more aggressive, and that probably comes from the more confidence of the ball going in the basket. Yeah, they're really an unusual group. Completely different personalities. The uniqueness of the three of them is something that I really enjoy, that part of it too. Marcus is just as serious as he can be, and is a coach's son, mom, dad, everybody coached him, and he thinks like a coach. He really thinks the game so much. Bryce and Joel, not nearly at that stage. Joel, from where he came from and how he's blossomed as a young man, is even more impressive than what he's done as a basketball player. And Bryce, coming from a guy that we could barely get his heart rate to even register. You could take his pulse, and it wasn't one there at some point when he started to. He's done some amazing things this year. I really still pushing him, because I think he can do so much more defensively, particularly and rebounding. But there are three really very different guys, and yet they've really enjoyed that relationship. And they've been here during a very difficult time period, and things haven't always been ice cream and nuts on top their 3 years, because they've had to put up with a lot of stuff. And that part has been taken away from what they've really accomplished, and made it more difficult to accomplish the things that they wanted to accomplish. But that'll be a tough one for me to realize that I don't get to coach those guys anymore.
First of all, it allows Theo and Justin to be on the court together, and that wing combination has been really successful for us in the limited time that it's had. But I think that's going to happen more now that Joel and I are kind of sharing point guard responsibilities, and it just makes me more comfortable, because that's my natural position. I'm matched up with a point guard instead of like a 6'7" two-man, and then I just get to play in areas that I'm used to playing, that I've played my whole career, and get to the spots that I'm usually getting to. So it's just a comfort and feel thing, but I think it benefits guys like Theo and Justin more. I don't think we're going to be able to beat them on the court for a lot of the game, but we have to take advantage of the opportunities we get to beat them down the court. They're terrific defensively. They slow the game down. I think they're like dead last in tempo. Yeah, so it's going to be obviously a contrasting styles game for us, where we have to do a good job on the defensive backboards so that we can get some opportunities to run. It's kind of the thing with us is there are games where we're prone to giving up offensive rebounds, but when we get the defensive rebound, we're pretty much lethal on the break. So whichever one of those things gives will be a big teller for the game. The key is getting some stops against them, because they run that really methodical offense with the flare screens and the baseline screens. And if they get a basket after working the clock for 25 seconds, it's hard to get the ball out and go, because they're able to get back and get their defense set. So I think they're not going to turn it over a whole bunch, but maybe forcing a couple of turnovers or getting some long defensive rebounds that lead to breaks are the most important. Like I said, we won't get a whole lot of those opportunities just because of how they play, but we need to capitalize on each one we do.